Hello, my name is Ivonne Wadleigh. I'm a director with LimeLight by Alcone, and today I am super excited to bring you the history of Alcone. And as you know, LimeLight is part of Alcone. We're in the same family, LimeLight by Alcone, and I love all the history that is behind our brand. That is we're not a company that decided to come up with a bunch of products and then start a direct sales company. We are a business that's been around since 1952 that then decided to go direct sales. So I'm going to run you through the history that I have, and it is so fascinating to see how people's hard work and dedication and love for the craft has taken LimeLight by Alcone or Alcone to where it's at now. So we're going to start in 1952. So let's rewind all the way to 1952. And Alvin and Harriet Cohen opened Alcone & Co. in New York City. And they have this tiny little place behind their parents' drugstore. And they're doing well. They're selling to like the socialites and all those people back then, right? So then let's fast forward to 1975, showbiz comes in the picture, right? So now we have Vincent and Barbara Millardi. They buy a theatrical mutual hardware store. So they have a specific theater and film hardware that they rent for people that are making movies or for the theater or that kind of stuff, right? So then in 1982, the Millardis decide to buy Alcone to complement their hardware store because they have, their business is booming in the hardware stuff. So they have lights and all this material and all this stuff that theater needs for their big shows and that movies need for their big shows, but they decide that they want more. So they decide to grow their business and buy Alcone & Company from Alvin and Harriet Cohen. So they introduce that now to their already successful company. So then they buy it and they complement their hardware store. So then in 1985, so 3 years later, they decide to move in next door to their hardware store. So we have the hardware store with all the theatrical hardware stuff that they sold and rented and whatever. And then right next door to it, here is all the makeup and all that kind of jazz stuff. So they totally complemented each other and their customers intertwined and did all that, right? So fast forward to 1987. So 5 years later, after they moved them next door to each other, these 3 random guys show up and say, hey, we're thinking of this show. Can you help us out with some makeup, right? So then they come up with whatever the product that these people need, and they help them, and then they send them on their way, and these men become the Blue Man Group. I mean, who hasn't heard of the Blue Man Group, right? So these people have amazing shows, they're in Vegas, they are all over the world now, but they came with this idea and this creative dream that they had into the Alcone store and said, hey, we know that you can make this happen. So how do we make it happen? And they provided them with the tools to make that happen. So I think that alone is so amazing and so creative and so cool that here they are, 3 random guys show up and are like, we have this idea, what do you think, and how can you help us? And they were able to support them with their needs and with that creativity and fulfill that need, and they were able to become who they are now, right? So it's amazing. Then in 1990, we start getting a little exclusive. So then we have French cosmetic lines approaching Alcone saying, hey, can you be our United States distributor? We would like for you to be our distributor. I mean, the spotlight's on them. They have the hardware store and they have the makeup store right next to each other, and they're totally doing amazing at it. So then the world started noticing, right? And then they get approached by out of the country companies to be the #1 distributor for their brands. So that's amazing. And then celebrities and television comes along and all this, and these people start using the products that Alcone is selling. So then in 1992, they open a store in Chelsea. And then in 1994, Mr. Millardi actually is on the product gets brought into the QVC. So now it's on TV, like we have this product and it's one of the products that is featured at the Alcone store. So more visual, more people are hearing more about it, is like all over the place, right? And then in 1996, they decide to launch their own line. They're like, okay, so now we're representing all these international companies. We have the products that we already had when we bought the company. So let's come up with something. Let's make our brand. Let's make our own products. So then in 1996, that's what that happens. And they go to the Home Shopping Network in 1996. And the brand name was Beauty Tech. And then it was actually a compilation of their best products and all the colors that Alcone sold. So they just made a compilation of their products and sold them through that. And then it evolved into Alcone at Home. So then we're moving on to 1996 now. So fast forward to that. And in 1996, AlconeMakeup.com gets launched. So as you can see, LimeLight by Alcone is still not even in the picture, but Alcone is like started from right here, a little mama dream in the back of a drugstore, to now it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and the vision that these people had just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's exactly what is happening with LimeLight right now. And it is so exciting that the same passion, the same dedication, the same hard work is going into, because none of this was easy. Like, this didn't just happen overnight, as you can see. So it is super exciting. Then we go to Broadway now. So they are based out of New York. So in 1997, Broadway decides that The Lion King, so if you know about this little show, The Lion King, decides to approach Alcone and say, you know what, we want you guys to provide all the makeup for our show. And then once The Lion King decides to jump on board and they are super successful with meeting their needs, then Alcone becomes that like go-to for any Broadway show, right? So then now any play, anything that's happening in New York, they know that the go-to place is Alcone. So then in 2001, so as you can see, we keep fast forwarding here, and it's not like day by day. This is taking time. These people are dedicated to quality control. They're dedicated to doing it right. They're dedicated to following their dream. So now we're at 2001, and then they totally outgrow their space. So as you remember, we started on the back of a pharmacy, then moved to next door to the hardware store. So then now that's too small. So they decide to expand. They move down to a larger warehouse, and it's just like a full-on warehouse, right? And then in 2013, we keep moving forward, trekking along. All those things are still happening. Broadway is still, Alcone is the go-to place for Broadway. And then in 2013, Alcone at Home is launched as a way for artists to reach people and sell to professional makeup and women across the country. Like, professional makeup artists can now purchase these products and sell them to women, right? So then we get bigger and better because, well, that's how we're rolling, right? I mean, we started from here and now we're here. So in 2014, Alcone.com upgraded its Alcone brand, and then it launched LimeLight by Alcone in 2015, and that's where we come in, right? So they started with just makeup artists being able to sell very specific line of products to their customers. So they had access to it, so you had to be a makeup artist or be associated in some way to buy from a makeup artist. But then in 2015, they decided to release it as a direct sales company for everybody to have access to, but it's still the same exact products that the professional makeup artists were using. So Alcone at Home evolves into LimeLight by Alcone, and it is now adding a luxury skincare product to their existing beauty line. So it's not just the makeup. So when it started with just a makeup artist, it was just makeup, and that's what they were getting to their customers because that's what they dealt with. But once it launched into LimeLight by Alcone, then we have makeup, the same exact makeup that the makeup artist had access to, and a luxury brand of skincare. But because they're so like nature conscientious, they care about the environment, they care about what's going in our skin, they decide to make this a Leaping Bunny certified company. And they decide to make our skincare to be the cleanest and the best that they can with super efficient products. So they didn't just launch a bunch of random products. There was a lot of research that went into this, and there's a lot of personal care that went into this. So where are we at now? Well, now we are at this super growing, amazing company with the same values, which is why I love this company, because all that hard work that started from the beginning was maintained. And this company has grown from nothing, from a dream in the back of a drugstore, up to what it is now. And that's the same that happens with us. I mean, we sign up with this dream and this vision of this is what we want, and we have to grow our business like every single day. So it is very neat to see the success that this company has had. It is very neat to see the tradition and the hard work and the dedication that has gone through all these years, and to see that they're still going strong generation after generation. They're still trying to keep that intact. And last year at Palooza, it was absolutely incredible to see. And Palooza is like their conference, their annual conference for everybody to get together. It was very beautiful to see, from grandpa to like the youngest grandchild there, helping and serving. And they really truly welcomed you and made you feel as part of them. Not just that you're a sales rep or that you're a person that just joined their company, but truly feel special, truly feel like you're contributing to this dream that they started with so many years ago. So that's that. As you know, as you can see, I am super excited about this topic. I love the story of it, and I love that it is a company that has a lot of integrity, and that it represents a family. It's not just a name. It really truly is who they are to the core. So their values are going to be injected into their brand. Therefore, anything negative that affects the brand is going to negatively affect them as a family or as the people. So that's where the integrity part comes in, and I am very proud to be a part of this company. And I invite you to research more about it, ask questions if you have any, and really truly see what this company is all about, because it's very different than anything you would probably have ever seen. So thank you for joining me on this video. I don't want to make it super long, and I'll talk to you guys later. If you have any questions, just drop them down there and we will make sure to answer them. Thank you so much. Bye.